Getting into the Skyski. So you're ready to get in and ride your Skyski, but before you get started, there are a few safety issues you need to be aware of. First, you should make sure you're wearing the right gear: a Coast Guard approved vest, a water sport helmet, and that you're using a non-stretch rope. Before taking off the foil cover from your Skyski, be sure you're in at least 15 feet of water free from trees, obstructions, and floating debris. One way to get the Skyski into the water is to carry it to the edge of the boat and toss it in away from the boat. When entering the water, always make sure that you jump in behind the Skyski so that you don't jump onto the foil assembly floating in the water. Once you're in the water, swim behind the seat, push your feet through the seat belt, and then open the seat belt to allow yourself to slide in. Adjust yourself on the seat so that the back edge of your bottom is flush with the back edge of the seat, and lightly do up the belt. Next, you want to push your feet inside the foot straps. Then, working with one foot at a time, grab the ankle leash with your fingers, pull it down using your foot to help stretch the ankle leash, and then put your foot inside the foot strap. Be careful that your heel doesn't slip over your hand and hit the seat. When your Skyski is new, the ankle leashes may be quite strong, so you may need to try this a couple of times. Finally, readjust the seat belt. Pull over the left side of the belt, and then using the right side to tighten down the belt, make sure you keep your bottom flush with the back edge of the seat. Now you're ready to start going out of the water and begin Skyskiing. Riding the Skyski. Once you're able to get into the Skyski safely, you're ready to learn how to ride. Always make sure that you get in the water behind your Skyski to avoid hitting the foil assembly. One way to prepare new riders is to help them get on the Skyski while still on the swim platform. New riders should be reminded that the Skyski floats quite high in the water, even with a rider strapped in. A quick review with the rider on the swim platform can help considerably once they're out on the water. For new riders, a deep V handle helps learning how to steer much easier, and all riders should wear the proper safety equipment: a Coast Guard approved safety vest, a helmet, and if available, a padded neck brace. Starting young riders off the swim platform makes it much easier to help them get into the Skyski. The starting position should be reviewed with the rider while still close to the boat. Make sure the handle is directly over the knees with the tip floating above the water. When using a deep V handle, the tip of the Skyski should be put between the two ropes. In order to help riders learn how to balance the ski and hold the correct starting position, you can push them away from the swim platform and pull them towards the boat, coaching them on the correct handle and rope placement. Always make sure that the boat motor has been turned off when handling the rope for the rider. Once they're comfortable, you can pull the rider in from farther away, allowing them to become familiar with the starting pull on the rope. To maneuver the Skyski while floating, sweep both arms backward, and to turn and face the Skyski towards the boat, put the ski handle in the far hand while paddling with the near arm and hand. Starting out on the Skyski. One key to successful starts is to remember to keep your eyes toward the boat. Never look down while riding. When you look down, you fall down. Body position is important when starting out. Hands over knees, Skyski tip floating above water, leaning slightly back. As the rope becomes tight, stay in a locked position with hands over your knees. As soon as the board breaks the surface completely, rock forward to keep it from rising and flying until you've learned control. Once the rider is able to stay on the surface, they should stay directly behind the boat, arms up and extended, with the rider's shoulders and hips being parallel. While leaning forward, the rider's hands must remain at shoulder height to maintain stability in the taxi position. When hands are low and bent, this causes the foil to rise and stall. Another common problem is not keeping the shoulders and hips parallel. This makes the rider's shoulder dip very deeply to one side, eventually causing a crash. Remember, not everyone starts up on the first try, but with a little practice and encouragement, even young riders can get up on a Skyski. Steering inside the wakes. Once the rider is able to stay on the surface directly behind the boat, arms up and extended, and with shoulders and hips being parallel, they've mastered the taxi position. Now they're ready to learn how to steer inside the wakes. The rider should have arms extended at shoulder height with eyes in the direction they want to go, leaning slightly with the shoulders and pushing with the knees to the side. Practicing back and forth between the wakes several times will help the rider get a feel for steering the Skyski. It is important for the rider to keep their arms up and extended in front to make the board remain on the water. Practicing steering in this position will gain the rider confidence and allow them to begin learning balance on a Skyski. Steering across the wakes. Make sure that after each fall you check your Skyski for belt position and that your bottom is flush with the back of the seat. After getting up and riding the Skyski in the taxi position, continue steering the Skyski over the wake. As the rider crosses the wake, it is important to maintain a slight lean forward so that the Skyski will not fly up and cause a fall. To get over the wake, a more aggressive lean and pointing of the knees is required as compared to steering between the wakes. Learning to fly. As soon as a rider has mastered the basic steering in the taxi position, it's important to remove the deep V handle and use a regular ski handle. With the rider directly behind the boat, between the wake and the prop wash of the boat, the rider should practice controlling height. The rider should slowly straighten their back and sit up to fly the foil. Return to the taxi position to regain stability and control, and repeat this maneuver holding the flying position for longer periods of time. In order to control height, the rider must keep their upper and lower body in a fixed position. It is very important to maintain upper body rigidity and always keep your eyes up, looking at either boat or horizon. Practice flying above the water and returning to the taxi position. If the foil rises too high, it will stall, and the board will drop down quickly to the water. The rider should return to the taxi position with arms extended to regain control before starting again. The prop wash of a boat does interfere slightly with the steady flying of a hydrofoil, so the rider should be just off to one side of the wash. Flying in control looks like sitting at attention with no hinging at the waist. Some common mistakes riders make are to bend at the waist or pull in their arms to regain balance. This causes the Skyski to porpoise and nosedive to the water. Once a rider has learned to keep the Skyski balanced and controlled in the flying position, they'll be able to move to a more relaxed, arms bent at the sides, knees together flying position. Learning to control Skyskiing. By this time, you should no longer be riding leaning forward with your arms outstretched and at shoulder height. Your position now should be sitting up, comfortable with your handle right above your knees, elbows touching or almost touching your sides. This will be the position you will strive for and ride in for the remainder of your Skyski days. When slaloming over one side of the wake, the Skyski will want to climb. To avoid this, after you cross the crest of the wake, lean slightly forward. Be sure to keep your eyes looking up at the horizon straight ahead where you're going. The boat speed should be faster at this time, and continued practice at this skill is important for good control of the Skyski. Another issue that presents itself when learning to fly across the wakes is the loss of line tension when turning back toward the wake. The rider should be sure to keep tension on the line at all times, and just as the rider turns toward the wake, the arm should extend to take up the slack and keep the line tight. This takes some practice to become good at, but just like all the other aspects of Skyskiing, it's lots of fun to learn. Once a rider is confident with slaloming, they should also practice quick slalom turns to continue to refine their control of the Skyski. Learning to jump. Before learning to jump, a rider must be very confident at flying and slaloming in control. The rider should have good recovery skills with all elements of Skyskiing. Jumping requires the rider to dip the board to the water and then rapidly bring it back up completely out of the water. The steeper and quicker the dip, the higher your jump will be. Fly the board about 12 inches over water just outside the wake. Approach the wake slowly, dip in the wash area, and lean back so the foil exits the peak of the wake. It's important to keep the position of your shoulders to knees fixed at this point, as leaning back without pulling your knees up gets you nowhere. Fly the board about 12 inches over the water just outside the wake. Dip the front part of the board to the water quickly and sit back like in a rocking chair. When you jump, the rule is hands to the knees and freeze. Keep the handle over your knees, holding the position long enough for the foil to exit the water, and allow the foil to re-enter the water while you're still leaning back. When the board touches water again, lean forward to recover and continue flying the foil. To help in recovering from the jump, you can let your hands out slightly, returning to the beginner's ride stance. Some variations of the jump include multiple jumps and even handle releases. To learn more about the many different maneuvers on the Skyski and to get instruction from professional riders, ask about the Hydrofoiling instructional series at your Skyski dealer. Once you're done skyskiing, be careful to bring your foil back into the boat in a safe manner. Once inside the boat, a safe way to store the Skyski is to put a foil cover on as soon as the foil is in the boat. Have fun sky skiing!